In this video I'm going to show you how you can create the titles you always wanted to create using the most badass title pack for Final Cut Pro. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, this is a channel dedicated to video editing, especially Final Cut Pro, gear reviews for videographers and filmmakers, and many more. In this video we're taking a look at the badass title pack from Arthur Moore, a title pack that has everything you ever wanted, everything you ever imagined to do in Final Cut Pro. You will find it in this pack. If you're interested to get it, you will find a link in the description of this video down below, and I think it's time to go inside Final Cut Pro and see it in action. We're in Final Cut Pro, and let's go and see, after we download and install the badass title pack, what do we see? First of all, we will go into library on the titles. We will see the badass titles there, and here we are. The idea of the pack is simple. You simply drag and drop the title that you want to use, and all the game is happening on the inspector panel on the right. For example, we see that these are flying words, but after we place them, we don't see anything, right? So we go into the inspector panel on the right, we click here on the publish parameters, and we can select character, word, or line, how we want them to fly. Also, the appearance, we can control here, and remember that we're controlling with keyframes all of the different options, how we want them to be. So for example, we can say that we want the appearance to be 0% at the beginning, add a keyframe, and we go a little bit to the right, and the appearance we want it to 100%. And you simply have this effect. You can do it by character or words. If we go with word. Now we can extend the fly time. We can set if we want the fly in and fly out to be forwards, backwards, center to ends, ends to center, random. Random is something that I really like on this effect, on the flying words, and also on the blur. It creates a unique look, and it's the one that you saw in the beginning of this video. Then you can set how much you want the motion blur to be. Remember that the maximum is 10, so if you want to have it more than 10, you will have to type it. Then we can change the tracking of the text. We can change the rotation if we want them to rotate as well. For example, check this out. We can have them rotate on the X, Y, or Z axis. So for example, let's say we want them to go from here, and let's add a keyframe. And here we want them to be 0. So what will happen? They will come like that. Also, in all the titles on the inspector panel on the right, you can set if you want to have a fill, an outline of your fill, or have an entire background opacity. Also remember here that on the fill opacity you can also have control with keyframes. So you can set it to 0%, add a keyframe, and when it's showing up, to have the background. Lastly, if you want to change the font that you're using, you will go here on the text, on the paragraph 1, you can change the text to whatever you want to type, and then from the font, you can select the font that you want, the text size, etc., all the text parameters. To give you the full idea of what's included in this pack, you saw some of the titles in the beginning of this video, but let's go and check them in more details. We begin with the adjustment layer, badass crop, the motion blur, something that it's very useful to have always when you have titles, and then we have the flying words, we have the massive words, we have speech bubble that we can use, we have different kinds of list and style info. For example, this is very useful when you want to have cards, and all of these, let me take one so you can see them. Again, on the inspector panel on the right, you can write whatever you want. You can select the font here, and when you go on the T label on the inspector panel, you can select the appearance, how you want them to appear, word again. You see, the logic is the same, the idea is the same. Forwards, backwards, if you want them backwards, edge to center, and then you can change the color, the background, you can have dots, or you can have other designs or different titles that you will see. So let's move on. You have then the subtitle, that you can have the different subtitles that you want to have on your video. Easy as that, drag and drop and you place the subtitles. You have thought bubbles, you have words in different backgrounds that you can do. Words that dance, words that create bump and bulges, words that they drop inside of your frame, they explode. The one that you saw in the beginning will fade from blur. The ones that flare, the ones that glow, the flicker, the glitch. You always see something with glitch. Actually, it's something that a lot of users like to have. The poof is the one that makes explosion and with a sign. Something very important here is the words with cursor. So let me drag this so you can see it. Okay, we say again the same. We add a keyframe if we want to boot backwards and go to the beginning, appearance to 0, and you see that it's typing out. Now, on the inspector panel on the right, you can have a background fill, or if you don't want, you won't have it. Character by character, word by word. You can change the cursor size or the cursor height. The blinking speed, how fast you want to blink when it's staying here, as you can see. And of course, the cursor roundness. Let's go and see one more example. Let's go to the words that explode. We add the keyframe and we go to the beginning. We make it to 0 and the words explode. From there you can control the scatter, the blaster density, how much you want to have a motion blur and how much you want the opacity to be. A very useful collection of titles that, as I mentioned in the beginning, you want it to have in your toolkit. This is the Badass Title Pack. I hope you enjoyed this pack, and if you have any questions, I'm waiting you in the comment section down below. Don't forget to do all this amazing YouTube stuff, like this video, and also if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As a reminder, you will find the link of the Badass Title Pack in the description of this video down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Emilio, and I will see you in the next video.